You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you'd like to listen to this in a still position, you can feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. And just let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch in whatever ways your body wants to. Just letting your body do the moving for you. Letting your body move you in the ways that feel good. And if what feels best for your body right now is stillness, then honoring that stillness. But feeling free to move throughout this practice in any ways that you need to move. You're not ruining anything if you move during a meditation. It's just a little bit of a different type of meditation. So you can just do your best to stay in a present state of mind with whatever you are doing while you listen today. And there is no rush whatsoever. Again, you can continue to move for as long as you need to. But if you're feeling ready and would like to come to a still position, then you may do so. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight where you're at. And if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so and would like to let the eyes gently close, then you may do that. And just mark your arrival into your body today, into your practice today, with a full and intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose, just filling up to every corner and edge of you as you just hold that for a moment when you're full, and really just experience that sense of fullness. And without straining, as you need to, slowly let all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. And just gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to just push that last bit of stagnant air out of you as you again pause to experience that sense of emptiness. And allow your next breath to come to you as it's needed. So you can move through this exaggerated breathing for a few more rounds for as long as it feels good. Just exaggerating the 4 parts of your breath. So a bit bigger of an inhale than you might normally take. A bit longer of a pause. And a longer exhale. And a longer pause. And at any time that feels right, you can just release this guidance over your breath altogether. And just step into that role of the observer or the role of the witness. And just witness the fact that your body is breathing rather than having any direct influence over the rhythm or depth of your breath. But reminding yourself how your breath can be either voluntary or automatic. And just playing with that control and release of control as we begin today. Remembering how your breath functions just like every other force of nature out there. And how your body does breathe even when you are deep in sleep. And practicing looking at your body breathing the same way as you would any other force of nature. Maybe waves rolling up along the shoreline, or the breeze flowing by in the branches, or water moving down in a stream. Not trying to change the rhythm of nature, but just watching the rhythm. Observing that rhythm in your own body. And just letting some of your attention come to the muscles in your face, the muscles in your neck and shoulders, in your hands and pelvis. And just letting your awareness generally fall over the body and in your muscles. And just making note of where there's tension being held or where the tension is gathering in your body right now. Any feelings or emotions that might be associated with those areas of tension. Maybe the brow is furrowed or the jaw is tight and holding. Maybe the chin is tense or the nostrils flared. Maybe the shoulders are a little hunched or the pelvis is tight and holding along with the glutes. And just making note of your body's resting state right now. Maybe your body is really relaxed generally as you begin. Just making a note of what your starting point is today. Knowing that your starting point for your practice today is going to be different than any other time you show up. Each and every time we show up for a meditation practice or any healing practice, we will have different findings. And so, as you just notice how you are beginning today, you can just start to welcome in a sense of softening into what you find, softening into this moment, and reminding your body that you are safe right now. Wherever you are in the world, if you have the ability to listen to the words I'm saying, in whatever environment you are in, you are generally safe. It is safe for your muscles to relax. And just communicating this a bit deeper into your nervous system with each exhale your body takes. Allowing your glutes to soften into the surface that supports you. Allowing your jaw to hang into place. And your forehead to be wide and deep. Allowing your shoulders to relax away from the ears. Allowing your stomach to be soft. And just letting yourself almost spread into the surface that's beneath you. Releasing so much that you get a little bit bigger, a little wider, a little bit heavier. As you just surrender beneath this deep sense of safety. And if at any point you have trouble feeling safe, or if there's a lot of layers on top of your sense of safety, maybe things in your life or in your immediate environment or general environment that don't support your sense of safety or make you feel threatened in some way. Not pushing those things away either, but allowing those thoughts or reminders to exist within your sense of safety, or on top of your sense of safety even. And just letting those seeds be planted. Letting those reminders be there. Remembering how there is always going to be a period of time between when we notice we need to make a change and when we actually are able to make those changes. And so if there's anything in your life that threatens your sense of safety, just letting that reminder be there, letting that seed be planted so that it at some point grows into action, grows into confidence, so that you can act on what you know best supports your safety. And just resting in that comfort that ultimately our bodies and our souls are safe. At the end of this life, our bones return to the earth and our souls return to wherever they've come from. And so we all possess this deep, full sense of safety. And just bringing attention to that truth, allowing that to grow within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act in your life and in a way that best supports this safety, that enhances this safety. And gradually letting more and more of your awareness come to your tailbone, or that space in between your sit bones, at the very base of your spine, at your root chakra. And maybe even feeling a sense of a heartbeat or a pulse in this space. Maybe feeling a sense or seeing a sense of red. But just noticing anything at all that you see in your mind's eye when you focus on this space. Taking on a curious perspective. Not trying to see anything specific or feel anything specific, but just becoming curious of what you do see and what you do feel. Staying in this perspective of the observer. Maybe feeling a sense that your root, the very base of your spinal cord, is pulsing into the earth. Almost magnetically drawn toward the earth. Maybe even a sense that the earth is pulsing right back into you. Just feeling this deep, deep sense of safety and support with the facts of gravity. How you are safe to let go. And when you let go, gravity holds you close, almost hugs you toward the earth. And you will not get up and float away when you let go. But you will be safe and held. Maybe even remembering a time when you hugged someone who you love dearly, a person, an animal, or anything else that you love, maybe even a stuffed animal. But just that sense that you get when you exhale into the arms of someone you love. And you just allow yourself to be held. You let go of the resistance and just allow yourself to be loved. And just allowing your awareness to naturally be drawn slightly upward in the body. As your attention comes to your sacral chakra in your lower belly, a few inches beneath your navel in this sacral space. Maybe even seeing a sense of a pulse here, feeling a sense of a pulse here. Reminding yourself of this deep sense of creativity that is within you. Sometimes we can tell ourselves, or sometimes society tells us, that there are some people that are creative and other people who aren't. But creativity is a sense that we can all tap into, that we all have a unique connection with. And that is within each and every one of us. Just reminding yourself of your unique creativity. Reminding yourself of times in your life when you've created something beautiful, whether that be a piece of art, a piece of music, or even a family, or a piece of writing, maybe a good meal. Or even just the creation of your life, of where you are in your life right now and how you've gotten yourself to this space. The world you've created for yourself and maybe for your loved ones as well. And how you are unique in this creation. The way that you perceive the world is unique. How you see life play out around you is unique to you and to your own perception. And this is what feeds into your unique creativity. Just reminding yourself of this deep sense of creativity within you, this deep sense of safety within you. And just by noticing and remembering these things about you and who you are at your core of being a human, this is what allows these things to grow and to expand within us. Just by remembering that they're there. They're already here within you. And the sense of safety and creativity are not things that you need to go out and find and earn from the world outside of you. But they are feelings that are awakened within you. They're already here. And letting your awareness come up slightly in the body into your solar plexus. Now a few inches above the navel, the space between the bottom of your rib cage and your navel. As you just allow your creativity and your safety to feed into this new space in your solar plexus. As you feel a deep sense of confidence with yourself, a deep sense of worthiness. And maybe just remembering a time where you felt self-assured and you felt confident with where you are, with who you are, with your knowledge, or with a skill that you have. Remembering how we all have an area of expertise. And there are times when we forget that that we're good at something or have a special talent somewhere. So just taking a moment to remember where your talent lies, where your confidence is felt. And just allowing that sense of confidence with yourself and your skills and your ability to just be fed simply by recognizing it. Maybe even just a base level of confidence with your sense of safety or your sense of creativity. Just being confident in where you are in your life as you remind yourself that every single thing you've been through in your life, whether it's painful or joyful or everything in between, just all the different mistakes or regrets you might have, reminding yourself that every single thing you've been through has gotten you to this exact point in your life and has made you exactly who you are right now. And just feeling a sense of trust with your decisions, a sense of confidence that you always make the right decisions at the time with the information that you have. We're all always doing the best we can with the information we have at the time. And yes, maybe as time goes on, we learn more information and realize we made decisions that maybe weren't the best at the time. But that is how we learn and how we grow. And so just reminding yourself that it is safe for you to be confident in where you're at. And it is very possible. Sometimes there can be a lot of layers over that sense of confidence, a lot of layers of self-doubt or regret or just being unsure of ourselves and who we are. So if those things are there, not erasing them or trying to push them to the side, but just remembering that even with those doubts, there is confidence underneath it all. And confidence does come from within you, not from around you. And sometimes there's a lot of things over that confidence. It waxes and wanes just like the moon. Just like all of our senses. Sometimes they feel really strong and other times not so much. But just allowing yourself to rest in the knowledge that beneath all the layers that life creates, we are safe, we are creative, and we are confident. And just letting these deep emotions and senses just naturally feed upward into the body as your attention now comes into your heart. Just feeling the sense of your own heartbeat. Letting the pulsing of your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus all naturally feed into your heart. Maybe feeling a sense of a heartbeat in all of these spaces. In your heart, in your belly, in your sacrum, and in your root. And knowing that it is perfectly okay if you do not feel a sense of a pulse in these areas. But just reminding yourself that there is always a pulse in these areas. There's always blood being pumped throughout your body. As long as you are alive, there is a pulse throughout your body. Sometimes it's difficult to feel, but just becoming curious, if you can, become so still that you do feel that. You do feel this life that's being pumped through you. And just as your awareness is in your heart, reminding yourself of this physical organ that has been pumping life into you from before you were even breathing air, from the time you were in your mother's womb up to this exact moment. And how this heart is your direct line of connection to all of life and all of love, to your sense of compassion and empathy, and how that starts with yourself. And just reminding yourself of everything you've been through in your life that's gotten you to this point. And maybe even imagining that your life story is that of a loved one. That can be really helpful if we ever find ourselves having trouble being compassionate with ourselves, or we find ourselves being hard on ourselves or giving ourselves tough love. We can imagine that our story is that of someone else who we love dearly, and how when a loved one tells us about mistakes they've made or hard things that they've been through, how we can still very clearly and obviously see the love that is there, and how because someone that makes a mistake or does something bad, that does not make them a bad person. And it's so clear to see when it's a loved one who is struggling and we're comforting them. And sometimes it can be rather difficult for ourselves to have that same sense of compassion and understanding with ourselves and the things we've done that we think are bad, or the mistakes we might have made in life, or regrets we might have. And know that those are valid. It is valid to, wonder what if, or think back to things that we might have done differently with the information we have now. Just reminding yourself of where you were at that point in your life, and how you do always do the best you can with the information that you have at the time. And how you would not be the exact person you are today if you did not make those exact decisions of the past. And we are just meant to learn from the things we experience and grow. And just reminding yourself that it is safe for you to have compassion for yourself. It is safe for you to love yourself. And loving yourself does not mean that you love every decision you've made or become complacent with yourself and, just think that you're the greatest thing in the world and make no wrong choices ever. But loving yourself can mean more like trusting yourself and trusting that the decisions you've made in the past, whether you label them as right or wrong or good or bad, they've gotten you to this point. And trusting that you will continue to make the best decisions at the time that you need to make them with the information that you have. And just reminding yourself that when you accept and love yourself fully for who you are, that doesn't mean we're going to stay the same. And in fact, that oftentimes can open us up to be an even greater version of ourselves, to change in a direction that we love even more. And so just allowing these senses and deep feelings of safety and creativity and confidence, worthiness, love, and compassion to naturally feed upward in the body as your attention comes into your throat, right into your throat chakra. As you just remind yourself of your deep ability to be honest and to communicate clearly with what your deepest wants and desires are. To communicate to yourself and to the world these senses of love and worthiness and creativity and safety. And how you are capable of communicating clearly your wants and needs and desires with the world around you. But starting with yourself, you are capable of hearing clearly your own wants and needs and desires. You have the power to listen to yourself through the lens of love and compassion and being so honest with yourself and with what your needs and desires are. And when we are honest with ourselves and what we truly want in life, that is what allows us to be honest with others and communicate that to the world around us. And the more clearly we can communicate what we want and what we need, the more others around us can help us achieve those things. And the more it will inspire others to also speak their truth. Knowing that it is not selfish of you to speak and act in the ways that best serve you. In fact, that is what will allow the people around us to do the exact same. The more clear and honest we are with ourselves, the more we can be with our loved ones and the world around us. And the more safe others will feel to be honest with us. And honesty is required for deep levels of love and clear communication, and to fulfill our desires. And we have the ability to listen and to speak through this deep sense of love, through this deep sense of worthiness and pleasure and joy and creativity and safety. And just allowing all of these senses to now feed up further in the body as your awareness comes through the throat and into the brainstem, up through the brain and into your third eye center at the space between the eyebrows. And maybe now feeling a pulse in your third eye, in your throat, in your heart, in your stomach, in your lower stomach, and in the space between the sit bones at the base of your spine. Maybe even seeing a depiction in your mind's eye of what these areas of pulsing look like. What your body looks like in the space you are in. Or maybe just looking into the backs of the eyelids or into the skull and looking into that space and just noticing anything at all that you see, even if it is just darkness, looking into that darkness and just reminding yourself of your ability to see clearly, to see yourself clearly, and to therefore see the world around you clearly. To let any veils of distortion lift away from your eyes. And seeing yourself through the lens of love and life. Knowing that that is exactly what allows you to see the world through the same way. Through the eyes of a loving point of view. Reminding yourself how it is possible for you to see the world in new perspectives. If you just remind yourself of a time where you felt maybe a little depressed or sad or anxious, and how that changed the way that you saw the world around you. Maybe doing the exact same things that you do on a regular day, but you look a little different, maybe a little more dismal. And how at other times in your life you've been joyful and super happy about everything going on in your life, and how maybe that same route to work that you take or the same things you do throughout your day look different. How you can see the magic in the plants growing outside or the bird that flies by, and just how valuable your perspective is. And how much it can change. And sometimes we will get stuck looking at things in a certain light, and we can make one small shift in our mind and in our perspective and see it in a whole new light. And even within really dark situations, there is an ability, we all have an ability to see something positive that can come from it. And not in a way that ignores the awful thing that's happened, but just as a silver lining. Knowing that these things can exist at the same time. Things do not need to be all bad and all negative, all painful and awful, or all great and joyful and loving. But life contains the full range of emotions and feelings and events and experiences. And you have the ability to see all of this. To see everything that is. And you do not need to pick a side or pick a perspective and stay there. But you have the ability to play around, to jump from perspective to perspective and kind of make it a game and see how many different ways you can view one situation. And then ultimately choosing the point of view that best serves you, or that makes you feel the best, or something that feels helpful to you. Your eyes, your perspective, take in the world around you in a unique and special way. And there is not one person out there who is going to see the world around you exactly the way you see it. And the way that you see it is valuable. And you have the ability to share this perspective with the people around you, to collaborate with the others around you, to share the way that you see things, and listen to the ways that other people see things, and see if you can see it that way too. Knowing that it is always okay for you to change your mind. You never need to stick to one perspective and stay there. But we are humans, and we grow and we change. We are a part of life, and everything in life grows and changes. And so can your point of view. And so now just letting all of these deep senses of safety and joy and confidence and love and compassion and honesty and seeing things clearly just naturally feed into your crown chakra, the very tip of your head, the highest point in your body. As you just remind yourself of your deep and innate connection to the source that all of life comes from, whatever you believe that to be. You are innately connected to the source of all life, simply because you are life. There is life within you. And therefore, wherever life comes from is connected to you. You are an extension of the source of all life. And just feeding into that connection, allowing that to comfort you and grow within you. And just trusting that you are deeply, innately connected to everyone you've ever loved, to everything you've ever loved, and to anything and anyone who's ever made you feel alive and reminded you of the magic and wonders of life. You are connected to the sun and the moon and the stars. You're connected to the earth, to the trees, to mountains, to the oceans. You are connected to all of life, simply because you are also life. And you are your own little world. You are your own universe within your body. And if you imagine looking down at our planet, at Earth, from a spatial point of view, and how beautiful the Earth is, how bright it is, how full of life it is, and how this beautiful planet can look so magical and stunning from the distance and from as a whole. And you know, when looking at the earth, that the earth contains so much joy and so much love, so much happiness, music, dancing, families, animals. All good things are within this earth. And at the same time, as all of these good things are in earth, on earth, there is a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak, and sad things. And the presence of all this pain does not negate the presence of all this love. And we know that when we're looking at our planet. But we are the same exact way. And the pain and suffering that you've experienced and that is within you on deep levels, the trauma that you've been through, does not negate all the love and joy and happiness that is within you. These things can coexist, and they do. And you are capable of holding these opposing truths. You are capable of being a full planet, a beautiful and complex world of your own. And so you can feel this life that is pumping through your entire body in all 7 of your chakral centers. Your crown, the tip of your head, your third eye, the space between the eyebrows, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, and your root chakra. And just allowing the energy to flow freely through all of these centers. Clearing this center channel of energy up and down your body just by being aware of it. Allowing the energy to flow freely throughout you. Knowing that you are capable of feeling free in your own energetic system. It is possible for you to clear blockages that might have existed in these areas just by bringing your attention to them. This is your body, and you are capable of manipulating the energy within your own body in a way that better serves you. And this does not mean that you are 100% responsible for the energy in your body and to ailments you might have or diseases that are present or pain that is present, but you are capable of witnessing these things that are within you. And remembering that there are always going to be areas of love within you, even when there is deep pain and suffering present. And we're not ignoring the pain or washing over the trauma or erasing everything negative within us. But we're just reminding ourselves that even when there are deep areas of pain and suffering and negativity within us, that there is also deep love, deep joy, deep safety and creativity and confidence and honesty and connection. Just deep love. And there's nothing we can do that will take those things away. And you are capable of feeling opposing feelings. You do not need to pick one side. And so there is this quote written by Jordan Peterson that I would like to share that feels really helpful to me. So I hope it resonates And if it does, just allow any of the words I say to soak into you a little deeper. And so don't underestimate the hole your absence would leave. Each of us, we're remarkable creatures, and we have something to offer the world. So just letting yourself rest in your own power and the reality of how remarkable you are and how much you have to offer this world, even when it doesn't feel like it, even when you forget that you have something to share with this world, and that you matter, and that people love you. Even when you forget these things, it is still true, and you will remember. And we will all go through phases where we forget how great life can be, and we feel sad and bad and just maybe like we don't want to keep going. But the only thing that we can count on is change, and feelings change. And just never underestimate how much you mean to the people in your life, and how your absence would be very noteworthy. And how you are needed in the circles you exist in this world, in your own life. You are needed here. You are wanted and you are loved, even when it doesn't feel like it. And so if it feels hard to hang on for yourself, you can shift that into hanging on for the people who love you. Hanging on until it feels easier, because it will. And here's another quote. I'm not sure who wrote this, but I will read this as well. Hard times are often blessings in disguise. Let go and let life strengthen you. No matter how much it hurts, hold your head up and keep going. This is an important lesson to remember when you're having a rough day, a bad month, or a crappy year, or crappy years. Truth be told, sometimes the hardest lessons to learn are the ones your spirit needs the most. Your past was never a mistake if you learned from it. So take all the crazy experiences and lessons and place them in a box labeled "Thank you." And here's one more thing that I wrote a while ago. And so you can rest in not knowing. We will never know everything that there is to know, and that is a fact. So you don't need to worry about knowing everything. There's nothing you need to figure out. You can just let yourself be exactly as you are. There's nothing you need to change. What is it like to be you? You are the only one who knows. And so you can rest in that knowing. The fact that you exist in the world is rare and it's beautiful. You are the only you. The only one with the exact bone shapes, exact muscles and joints, exact heartbeat and ideas. And you can rest in that knowledge as you feel your own uniqueness and let yourself sit in this peace. So you can just bring your attention back to the muscles in your face, in your neck and shoulders, in your stomach and glutes, in your legs and feet, and hands and fingers. And just once again, remind these areas to soften. Allow the energy to flow freely throughout your body, to every corner and edge of you. And you can take a final deep and full breath into the body as you just feel the air fill you up to every corner and edge of you, to the toes, to the fingertips, to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, just letting go of anything you are ready to let go of, as you let your head gently bow and bring your hands to a prayer position toward heart center if that feels like something you'd like to do. You can just take the next few moments to seal this practice within you. And just remember that anything you've heard today that's felt helpful or resonated or struck a chord with you, that feeling can come when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. So just allowing those truths to be enhanced within you, so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own instincts and what you already know to be true in life. Trusting your own intelligence. And taking this moment now to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.